and thanks for joining me. I'm Lora Markova. The cold weather might be upon us, but don't worry, I've got some great news for you that should keep you warm and fuzzy through the winter. Ready to turn on the heat? Then let's connect. Today on Let's Connect, we'll talk about a key change to Marlborough's zoning laws that could see a lot of activity spurring down Main Street. We'll also talk about where Marlborough ranks among the top 10 places to live in New England, and we'll take a look at some of the most recent Marlborough company news. All this and more coming up in the next few moments. In the meantime, stay in touch with us. Don't forget, we are on Facebook and Twitter. Our handle is Marlborough EDC, and please use the hashtag Let's Connect. All right, let's get started. Although you probably haven't noticed yet, there's a big change that has come to Marlborough. After months of planning and public meetings, the city has finally approved the new Marlborough Village zoning district. The new mixed-use district introduces a number of major changes to the city's downtown zoning. The new rules redefine allowable uses for developments, relax parking requirements for businesses, and revise design standards for buildings. Bed and breakfasts, brew pubs, and music recording studios can now operate in Marlborough's downtown, and developers can build residential properties in the area. The new regulations also encourage businesses to create pedestrian-friendly facilities like outdoor seating, patios, porches, and courtyards. City officials hope that all these changes will ultimately boost growth and activity on Marlborough's Main Street. Here to talk more about his downtown dreams is Executive Director of MEDC, Tim Cummings. Welcome, Tim.
Hey, how are you?
I'm very good. A little cold. Are you cold?
I am, yes.
All right, well,
I should have watched the weather this morning.
Time to get you warm.
That's right.
All right, so let's talk about these zoning changes. They've been in the works for almost a year now.
A little less than that, but yeah, for a while.
And finally, things have happened. The City Council has finally approved these changes. What happens now?
A great question, and yeah, I'm pleased to report successfully that the zoning was approved to create the Marlborough Village, which is a mixed-use downtown zoning, which essentially will allow for more uses by right, allow for some design criteria and building material requirements to obtain the character that the community is looking for in terms of aesthetics. And it otherwise eases the permitting while increasing value of the land for everyone's benefit.
So you said repeatedly in the past that all these changes are really meant to kind of bring more life, more activity to downtown, both from a business perspective and, people perspective. How is it going to do that?
Great question. By activating the Main Street. The Main Street today is not what the Main Street was back in the 1960s. You need to look at your Main Street corridor as more of an entertainment venue, more about cultural assets and embracing and encouraging those type of amenities, as opposed to what what you used to think of a Main Street, which was a traditional retail corridor. So what I am pleased to say is that with this new zoning, you'll be able to see by right uses of brew pubs, of different type of entertainment venues that will help activate the pedestrian corridor, which right now traditionally tends to be more professional services. So you're thinking of banks, accountants, attorneys, which are all very important to your Main Street, but that's just one ingredient that you put into the pot. You need to have a couple other ingredients to kind of spice it up and make it a little bit more active and lively.
Sure, but all that takes time, obviously. First, you need the businesses to actually come to the downtown area, open up, then get the traffic to be frequenting those businesses. So when are residents going to actually see these changes? What do you anticipate?
Well, this is a long-term initiative. It's definitely nothing that's going to occur overnight. But I would like to think that you'll see a project or two a year. And after the first of the year, I'm hoping that you'll see a project. Because you're absolutely right. It is not something that will occur immediately, but what you can foresee is long-term improvements as investments are being made.
All right, so we're ultimately hoping to see an improvement of quality of life for the residents.
Yeah.
Now, recently, a real estate website actually named Marlborough one of the top 10 places to live in New England.
That's because of all your hard work.
Oh, of course it is. Thank you.
Did you tell them to do that?
I just want to be correct. No, I didn't actually.
Right,
they just did it all on their own.
Fair enough.
But I just want to be correct here. So they use all kinds of indicators. They said that Marlborough had the 13th lowest in unemployment rate. They had the 14th most amenities per capita and 18th best quality of life ranking. So all of these are great ratings, but of course we are always working on our way up. So how do you think, and what do you expect these are going to change as the new zoning laws have now come into place, and hopefully they'll bring in new changes to the city?
Can I answer all?
Yes.
So what I would love to foresee is more jobs here on the main street. So you're constantly looking to create the jobs and lower the unemployment rate, but you're also looking to improve quality of life by offering those amenities. You know, the amenities are critically important to the residents and to the business community. Offering that higher quality of life, whether it's through a walking trail, bike path, or a restaurant, or whatever the case may be. Offering a higher level of quality of life is one of the ultimate objectives, besides increasing the value of the properties here in the downtown. By this zoning change, you can see the taxes potentially going up as the values increase, which would offset the taxes going up on the single-family residential home, which is really important.
Right, over time. Now, you mentioned, I want to get away from the city a little bit, get into nature. You mentioned trails. Now, recently there's been talk about a 30-mile trail, the trail loop, the boroughs trail loop, I should say, that connects all the 4 boroughs.
Pretty cool, huh?
Over 30 miles. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me more about that. That was something that MEDC actually initiated.
We did, and we played a role. All the communities have to come together. Marlborough, Southborough, Northborough, Westborough needed to join together and outline this perspective for MAPC. MAPC awarded us a grant a year and a half ago where we were able to sketch out the feasibility of this type of trail. We're in the very early stages of this, and once we get the stakeholders together and we start refining that map, hopefully you'll see this nice long trail that residents will be able to use. And again, it's all about improving the quality of life.
Is there any timeline to this? When can we expect this?
Well, it always comes down to resources and funding. Wow, that's a loud truck.
They do pass through Main Street.
They do. But with that being said, it all comes down to resources, and depending on how the budgets are, it's definitely going to be more of a longer-term project. I wouldn't look for anything right away because you're also going to have to be working with property owners. Again, another truck. You're going to be working with these property owners to get their cooperation. So between working with the property owners and the public, investment that's going to need to be made, you're talking about a 5 to 10 year type of project. So it's a long ways away, but you need to stop planning now forever something to come to be. Think about the rail trail and how long it took the rail trail to come to existence. That was, people all enjoy it now, but that was a multi-year phased project. It's going to be a similar type endeavor.
It's definitely something to look forward to in the next 2 years. So
Absolutely.
Very exciting. All right, now I want to, before I let you go, I do want to talk about you for a minute because we like to talk about you at the end of our interviews all the time. But last year, or not earlier this year actually, the Worcester Business Journal named you one of the top 10 people to watch this year. And lo and behold, they actually knew what they were talking about because just recently you were actually named one of the 40 under 40, not just for the Worcester Business Journal, but for the Boston Business Journal. So huge congratulations to you, first of all. But second of all,
slim pickings. The pool wasn't that deep.
I don't think so. Tell me, how did you do it?
It's always nice to be recognized, first and foremost, especially by those people who are your peers who nominated you. My sincerest, heartfelt thank you to my coworkers who nominated me for the recognition. And the one thing I have to say though is I'm just part of a team. It's a team effort in terms of bringing about the success that Marlborough has seen over the last year or two. And I'm proud to be part of that team, and I hope to continue to be part of this team effort. And what I look at it as is this is just a recognition of everyone's hard work thus far.
All right, well, we're glad to have you guys around. It's really been you've been doing a great job. So thank you very much. All right, that's Tim Cummings, Executive Director of the Marlborough Economic Development Corporation. Thank you once again for being with us. Now stay tuned, we're about to take a break, but when we come back, we'll talk about a big plan that ReWalk Robotics has for Marlborough, and we'll also catch up on other company news, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Let's Connect. It's time for a company news roundup. Marlborough-based biotech company ReWalk Robotics made national headlines this year with its exceptional device that allows paralyzed people to walk again. Now, after an initial public offering, the company is looking far into the future. After raising just under $39 million through its IPO and seeing close to 300% rise in third quarter revenues, ReWalk Robotics said it plans on expanding its Marlborough operations to bring mobility to an even wider population of disabled people. Its first personal use exoskeleton unit, available for sale in the US at just under $70,000, is designed for people with spinal cord injuries. But the company hopes to also expand its platform to people suffering from cerebral palsy, multiple sclerosis, and paralysis due to stroke. The ultimate goal is to one day bring mobility to quadriplegics. To make all this possible, ReWalk is already growing its Marlborough headquarters and looking to hire more people to support its efforts. Other companies that have recently settled into the city are also hiring. Quest Diagnostics' Lab of the Future was inaugurated in October. The laboratory services leader is now looking to fill hundreds of job openings at its new facility. MassEcon recently honored Quest with an Economic Impact Award for the company's contribution to Marlborough's economic development. Also this fall, SanDisk Corporation officially opened its research and development facility in the city. The flash memory storage solutions giant is looking to hire candidates for about a dozen full-time positions by the end of the year. Meanwhile, biotech consultancy Boston Biomedical Associates also formally moved its operations into its new Marlborough headquarters in September. And finally, IPG Photonics expects to add 100 new jobs to the city within the next 3 years. The developer of optical fiber-based lasers is working on a 111,000 square foot expansion project in Marlborough. If you'd like to work for any of these companies, then you can look for their most current job openings on their websites. Good luck! And this brings us to the end of our show. Remember, you can stay in touch with us on Facebook and Twitter. Use the hashtag Let's Connect, and of course, our handle is Marlborough EDC. You can also email us at info@marlboroughedc.com, and you can stay up to date on our activities on our website, marlboroughedc.com. That's all for me for now. I'm Lora Markova. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll see you next time on Let's Connect. Stay warm.